Really?
Well, like
Is
I
it a
used to watch
garage?
a
A
lot
garage
of.
or a garage? No, sorry.
Oh, garage, yeah. Well,
Yeah,
because
it's a
I was thinking I
garage.
used to watch a lot of Red Dwarf, and
Oh
I'm
yeah,
trying to
yeah.
think of words from there. Like, do you call people smegheads?
Smeghead. Now and again do use the word smeg. Yeah,
Okay,
as in this is
okay.
covered in smeg.
Yeah, I
Or
like
can I,
that.
or can I smeg all over your face? No, no, we don't usually use that. No, I
Oh,
just made that one
oh.
up. Yeah,
Now,
which is
now
really
say it slower.
yeah.
No, 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 don't look
Can
at
I?
me.
All right, sorry. Yeah, no, look at me. Look at me.
Don't look at me. Ah!
It's yeah. We've just gone live and it's just got really really sexy
Oh
now.
man.
So yeah, we do use the word smeg. I do like Red Dwarf. There's a new Red Dwarf coming back soon, isn't there? I believe a new series
Yes,
soon.
yes.
Yeah. In fact, on
Pretty
a new
good.
series, there's a new X-Files, isn't there, coming out this?
Yes, that's
Wow.
soon. That's this
Just sort of
month.
yeah,
I'm very excited
24th. Or I think
24th
I
or the
just saw there was
26th?
like
One of those.
oh is it 26? Yeah. I just saw
26.
the trailer. Have you seen that new trailer, which is just Mulder with the
Yeah,
photos? With the
right.
photos down. It's awesome. They just all go on fire.
I
And it's
know.
like, oh, shit, I so want to sort of watch that
Yeah,
right
I'll
now.
probably
Ace is
watch
here
it.
as well, by the way.
Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of the Coffee Jelly Hour podcast. I'm your host, Bearsire.
I'm Ace Munns, Ace Bunny Boy Munns.
And I guess I'm
And that's...
Paul Mattingly?
Yeah!
Yeah, because fuck Tony.
Yeah. Yeah. Because he's shit, isn't he? I was so disappointed you didn't say me then, Jessica. That was like really bad. My name's even free. You know, you didn't even have to think about
Yes,
it, really.
I see it.
Welcome. Darren's not here. Apparently he's got a lot of work on. But I think something else is going on. I believe his New Year's resolution was to stay in bed and just fuck all the time. But that's what I heard. I don't know. So he's in bed.
Allegedly.
Well,
Mind it
he
from bed,
already
really.
he already got married, so then he has to fuck and then kill?
Indeed, this year, constant fucking. Next year, he's just going on a murder spree. So that's how he's doing it, I think. Year by year, yeah. So
Yeah.
So he's gonna be exhausted when he gets back, I think, from this. Anyway, we're missing him really.
Yeah. Airlock repair duty is a pain in the ass.
We are on the moonbase. Remember? Yeah.
Right.
Which
yeah.
which the Earth with which we are surrounding has gone through a new cycle, and it is a fresh year. So, how did you guys start the year off?
You first, Jessica, if you want. What did you do for New Year's?
Well, and here's I'm gonna miss Darren right away. Ohio State, Notre Dame played, and I went to Columbus, Ohio. The game didn't take place in Columbus, Ohio, but we went there to watch and be surrounded by other Ohio State fans. So that was how I brought in the new year.
Cool.
It was pretty fun. Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about. You're talking about sport. I haven't got a clue. Sounds great.
College football.
Oh,
college football. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, American football, not real football.
Oh, see,
right?
There's another word.
Yeah, that's
right
it. Yeah,
there
it is. Yeah. It's not in this country. It's not soccer. It's football because you kick the ball with your foot. You don't kick the ball that much with your foot, do you? In American football?
Yeah, but
a bit, but not a lot.
I don't call everything I do. What do you call kickball then?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, no, that's true. Well, no, it's like what just before we went on air, Ace was going on about we should call things exactly what they are, like the keyboard.
Yeah.
The click clack. Yeah. So that's there we go. We'll keep going with that. I'm going to start this podcast off with an argument about sport. No, I'm not really.
Yeah.
So that was your New Year's. My New Year's was quite a quiet one because I've got two kids. We kind of went out early for a meal, then just got home, and then put the baby to bed, and my daughter wants to stay up to midnight. We're like, yeah, let's do it. But because we're tired parents, we're like, fucking hell. It was like 10:30, and we were like, I am so knackered. Should we just put the clocks forward and pretend it's midnight and go to bed? But we didn't. We stayed up, and it was good. There was lots of fireworks around where I lived, and it was quite nice. And I got a portable audio recorder for Christmas from my wife, so I got to record loads of fireworks sounds and shit like that, and it's really good. And I put one of them on there, SoundCloud, so you can have a listen to it on there. It sounds nice.
Nice.
You can actually hear soundcloud.com/Tony Longworth, and you can hear So that was how we celebrated it. Very tired, basically. So what about you, Ace? What did you do?
Well, unfortunately, I was deactivated for maintenance during most of the ending of December. So it was just kind of a black period when you and Darren decided to leave the base. You just kind of deactivated me.
Well, we went back to Earth. Yeah.
Which is weird because robots do in fact dream.
Really?
We dream of electric sheep.
Electric sheep, yes. Oh, were they good? What were the sheep doing?
Blade Runner is happening, by the way. The date with which the guy. God damn it! Now I haven't slept in
no.
4 years.
4 years,
Yeah.
goodness.
The actual birth date of that guy from Blade Runner, is that right?
Yes,
Have I screwed
yeah.
that up?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did see that.
I'm glad
I panicked, thought there was a Blade Runner remake. Is there a Blade Runner remake? There's
I'm
got to
sure
be,
there's
hasn't there?
one
It's
in
going
the
to happen.
talks. I'm sure Disney's about to buy that.
Yeah, they will do. Yeah. They're gonna get everything, aren't they? There was that thing on that graphic on I don't know, Facebook and whatever, and it was a big Star Destroyer trying to catch up with the Enterprise, and the Enterprise saying, "Quick, go faster! Don't let Disney catch us," kind of thing, because they're gonna fucking buy everything. Oh, something like that. I kind of sort of made part of that, but they're just gonna fucking buy everything, aren't they? Really? So
Yeah.
fucking mouse.
It's
He's well
going-
rich, isn't he, that mouse?
It's going to be one hell of a Kingdom Hearts game, though.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
actually, yeah. Holy
That's
shit! I
gonna
never
be-
thought about that. Yeah,
Yeah.
that is nuts. That's crazy.
Very true.
So we're gonna have Star Wars characters in that. Oh yeah.
At the risk of losing a very close friend to me, Kingdom Hearts never worked for me. I tried playing that first one, and it was so hyped to me. And in the beginning, where's Sora? Where's Sora? And it just goes on, and I'm like, the fuck is this?
No, I played it on the PS2 a bit and probably the DS, I think, of it. And I kind of liked it, but I didn't get that far in those games. But
Well, by default, I don't have an appreciation of Final Fantasy, and I'm not a big Disney fan. So it's just everybody's like, but when you combine them, no, when you combine herpes and anal sex, you just get herpes in your butt.
Yeah, okay. That's fair enough. But it is a weird collection of characters that don't really work together.
Yeah,
rise above it, and
but it has that weird intangible feeling of just playing with your younger sibling, and you have your cool anime toys, and they have their fucking Winnie the Pooh plushie, and you're trying to make a cohesive narrative.
Yeah. That's
if I could borrow something from Paul Mattingly, barf farts. That's what I have to say about that. Barf farts.
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird. Yeah, it's a game I wouldn't go back to. So yeah, I agree. But then if they put Star Wars characters in there,
and Marvel characters too.
Oh yeah, Goofy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Just an orgy of just everything.
Yeah, that's gonna be
one game.
For a long time, there's been talks about doing a Nintendo Kingdom Hearts, which was going to happen, and then it wasn't going to happen. And then it was in talks again, and they had mock-ups for it, which conceptually would be interesting and terrible at the same time.
So wouldn't that basically be a Smash Brothers RPG?
Well, no, because it would
it
would be a Square Enix. Because for a while, Square Enix had the license to make Nintendo. They made Kingdom Hearts game for the hand,
right?
The portable clicker, and there was an idea that they presented to introduce Nintendo licensing. So in addition to having "Where's Sora?" you would have "Oh, where's the Sora?"
Oh Jesus! Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, probably
That's,
equally bad. Yeah, it's not going to work, is it?
See, I am man, it's just going to be known as pulling a Mattingly. I've only played the first hour of that game, and that's the criteria with which I will judge it forevermore by the first hour of unfun that I had.
Yeah, because you don't know what the rest of the game is. The rest of the game might be even shitter. No,
right,
yeah, it probably is. I don't know. I've played a few hours, and it was kind of like, it's okay. And I tried to get my daughter into it because it's like, look, there's loads of Disney characters, but then she was going, who are these other weird characters? So she didn't know the sort of Final Fantasy ones and stuff like that. So it didn't really work for her. Yeah. Well, I mean, when she played it, she's probably 7, 8 kind of thing. So I'm thinking, I don't know what age range that sort of game's for, really. Where have you got to be sort of like mid-teens or something to appreciate both worlds? Or I haven't a clue, but it's a bit weird. Anyway, listen, just go back to New Year. Did anybody make any New Year's resolutions?
No, I could lie and say no. I can't even think of anything.
What about you, Ace? Did you make any?
My New Year's resolution was to kill you and Darren, and I partially succeeded.
Is that where Darren is?
Shit.
Apart from that, my other New Year's resolution was to listen to the worst audiobooks I possibly could find.
Oh, and which ones did you listen to?
Well, boy, oh boy, do I have a laundry list that I've gone through. So I'm going to give a loose summary of some of the crap that I've been listening to. I want to see the good stuff. First and foremost, Kevin Smith's audiobook is pretty damn good. I don't love Kevin Smith. I actually think he reminds me of like a stoner douchebag.
You know, the weird thing about Kevin Smith is like he wasn't a stoner at all, and it's only recently he's just got into pot, hasn't he? Did you know that? He
talks about it in the book, but it's a fascinating book. And I love his attitude, but I think my favorite thing about it is he doesn't paint himself as the flawless narrator like so many of these people do. And I have a fine appreciation for that because his book plateaus on a story of him jacking off to his wife's asshole because she won't let him fuck her. So she didn't want to have the feeling of him dripping inside of her all night. So she said, I don't want to have sex, and he settled, well, can I just look at your asshole and jack off? And
fine. Got compromise.
That's up there with Penn dropping his cock in a blow dryer for me when it comes to hilarious plateaus.
He mentioned that again the other day, and I just cringe because actually reading that, it goes into graphic detail in his book, doesn't it? And it's the smell and everything, and it's just like, oh Jesus, wet. I would have passed out.
He spent so long just talking about like taking the hairdryer directly to his taint.
Yeah.
He's like, my taint was drier than and I'm like, oh, Penn.
Yeah. I know. And it's just, and then after it actually happens, it's the way the skin burns and the skin left on there and everything. It's just like, Jesus, wet. Yeah, that gave me nightmares. Not as much as having a ball in Arkansas gave me nightmares, but there we go. That was,
which I will perpetually be skeptical of.
Well, you know what? I didn't even want to Google if that's possible or not because I didn't want to see photos. I didn't want to. It's.
You know what? I'll tell you what. I will be a ball urethra agnostic. That'll be something that I will.
Until you see it. Until you experience it. They actually mentioned that again on a recent episode. You know, the chocolate dick mold. They said we should get one with a ball. Oh fucking hell, that'd be all. Oh yeah, that was gross.
That would be a great novelty item. Going down the book checklist. Another one that I listened to was Sarah Silverman's book.
Oh, is that good?
What
was that shit?
Oh man, I really wanted to like it. Wanted to like it. She's really funny. She's fucking funny. She's charming as all hell. But man, that book is full of so much fluff.
Oh really?
It's about 2 hours of good content and then like 8 hours of just rambling nowhere, no cohesion.
Oh.
She reposts a lot of emails and stuff that she's had and correspondence, and I'm like, I want to hear interesting stories, not just.
Wow.
Yeah, I think one of the things is once you've read Penn's books, you're kind of spoilt a little bit. I think anyway, because I've struggled with other books after reading Penn's books because it's just so interesting. The stories are great. Yeah.
I still stand by
the podcast.
The Penn's second book is still surprisingly weak.
Thank you. Nobody's ever agreed with me on that. Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Do you think so as well?
The core of the book is fine, but he spends so much time like superficially focusing on that fucking reality show that it just takes me out of it.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Me too.
Yeah.
I've talked with other people about that, and I've recommended God No wholeheartedly. I'm like, definitely read God No. And they're like, what about Atheist Holiday? And I'm like, Sure.
It's okay. I can't suggest it, but there's just so much times where he dedicates a whole chapter to talking about Clay Aiken, and it's so fucking frivolous.
I
I do remember that.
And I get that he's writing from in the moment, but you just can't help but looking back at that and being pinned. That was the most trivial moment of a stupid game show. And
it doesn't really mean anything. Yeah.
And he basically keeps saying it doesn't mean anything, but then he keeps like subconsciously addressing it. And
No, you're right. Yeah, don't get me wrong. I did enjoy that book, but now you've mentioned that, I'm thinking, I remember reading it, thinking, don't really care about this guy. So can we talk about someone else? And then he does talk about someone else.
Yeah, and the other stuff is great. It's just there was so much in that book that kept harkening back to like, well, I was in the room with Lou Ferrigno and Dee Snider and Clay Aiken, and I'm like, stop it. We don't want a book about The Apprentice. Fuck The Apprentice. Fuck Donald Trump.
I know.
As much of a fan, and I am a fan, I don't care about their celebrity appearances. I have not clamored towards any time I saw, like when Penn was on cooking shows. I don't care.
No.
He's not a chef.
It's true. Well, it's like Penn was on Friends, and he talks about that now and again. I was like, I don't give a shit about Friends, but it's interesting, his stories. His stories and his
anecdotes are what we enjoy. But that being said, Sarah Silverman's book has some really great moments, and I can wholeheartedly recommend it. But it's really sloppy. Yeah, it's really incohesive, where the stories jump rapidly from like one moment she's like 10, the next moment she's done her show, then it goes back to when she's 13, and then it goes back. But it's not done stylistically. It kind of feels like she's just hodgepodging wherever she's
trying to do a Tarantino, but really fucked up.
It breaks. I have to be fair too, because it breaks my heart because I really wanted to like it. And there were so many moments where I laughed, and I was like, this is so sweet, this is so funny, this is incredible. I love when she tells that there's a story that Penn always tells. And hearing her tell it on the audiobook is so much better. And that's basically the guy from Journey came up to her and said, "You do the best nigger jokes." And she's like, "No, I don't." And it broke her heart. And it was the most it was this honest, beautiful story she told, and I fucking loved hearing how she told it, because it gives you the whole perspective of when somebody misunderstands your purpose of a joke.
Oh, totally gets it. Oh, that's brilliant. That is great.
Yeah,
it's just awkward.
Yeah, but it's fantastic to hear her inner monologue about that, her feeling, her. Yeah. So that's really good, and then we get to the good ones, which is I listened to both Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley's audiobooks. Face the Music by Paul Stanley, and Sex, Money, and Kiss by Gene Simmons.
Oh, nice. Christ, that is
very nice.
Awful title. That is so bad.
Well, yes.
That's cringe, then.
And Gene Simmons.
So what do you like? Go on.
Gene Simmons. Well, I guess I'll talk about Gene Simmons because that was the audiobook that I can only stomach an hour of before I turned it off. Even while doing other shit, I could not give that man my time.
So you couldn't leave it in the background. It wasn't the background book. It was just.
It's too distracting. It's just too. God, the morality is basically people, they need to make money, and to make money you have to first envision that you're making money. I'm not talking spirituality. You gotta see the money. You have to have the desire to have the money. And then and I'm assuming, because the way he goes on, I'm basically assuming that the next chapter is just gonna be, in order to have sex, you have to envision sex. Think about sex.
Right. See the pussy.
If you desire sex. And I'm assuming the last chapter is just going to be, or part 3 of the book is just going to be, in order to listen to a Kiss album. You got to envision the Kiss album. You got to. And
in order to buy all the Kiss albums, yeah.
And it was loaded with like cynicism and sexism, and it was just a gross thing, and I had to turn it off. Paul Stanley's book, though, was fascinating 12 hours of just a bitter, lonely man.
Really?
Yeah, just 12 hours straight. 12 hours of my life were dedicated to listen to that man complain about shit that people said to him in the 70s, shit that people said to him in the 60s. He names one of his teachers by name for being mean to him.
Wow.
The man
this is a guy you can't let things go.
Yeah, this is the guy who
Fucking hell.
played guitar for the Olympic ceremony, made like $1 billion, a million, billion, gajillion dollars playing for the Olympics, and still remembers the name of all of his childhood bullies.
What
Still
a sad man.
self-consciously is just like,
Oh.
when we first met our producer, he came up to us. It wasn't very rock and roll. He was fat and bald. He looked very judgmental at me.
Oh,
I knew he
Jesus.
didn't know what he was doing. He may have produced
Oh my
records in
God.
the past, but he didn't know what rock and roll was. Chapter
That-
28.
Do you feel sorry for him all the way through? Or just
Well, no,
think,
because
this
you
guy's
can't
a
feel sorry
knobhead?
for him because it's basically when he was a
Rich
child, he was born without
people's
an
problem.
ear. He had one ear, and I get that. And he grew up with this
What?
childhood deformity. Yeah, Paul Stanley had one
He
ear
had
as
one
a
ear?
child,
I didn't
but
even
he
know that.
keeps
I didn't know that.
he keeps hearkening back to it so much that you lose all sympathy for it. It's just like I was having sex with 20 women in my hotel room when one of them said, "I have to go." It was as
Yeah.
if she had pointed out my one ear. I was a child all over again.
Oh.
Oh my God, he's got some serious
Yeah,
mental
like,
issues, hasn't he?
that being said, I will give him credit. The last chapter is genuinely beautiful, where he talks about how he's proud to be part of something that transcends him, and that he's proud to have gotten a family and all of it. And I'm like, I like hearing stuff
Yeah.
like that. I don't like hearing
Positive.
17 chapters about how my favorite Kiss album was made out of cynicism. We needed to make
Oh.
another album. Our first product
no.
wasn't
Yeah.
selling good. We had to produce something else and fast. You know,
Oh my
something
God.
funny about inspiration. If you look at your checkbook, you get inspired real fast. It's like, thanks. Thanks for taking
Really?
Destroyer away from me. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's horrible. That is horrible.
Yeah. Yeah.
I guess looking behind the scenes of a lot of sort of bands, you're going to see that. And it's just going to be sad. It's like,
Yeah.
have you ever seen the documentary, the Metallica documentary, Some Kind of Monster? And you just see how, well, pathetic they are. And it is. I actually watched. Have you watched that? Have you seen it? Has anybody
I
seen
know of it.
No.
I know.
Holy shit.
I know
Yeah.
the history.
This is
I
no joke.
remember when it was big, but I never
Well,
saw it all the way.
This is when was it Jason Newsted, the bassist, walked out because they wouldn't let him do side projects, so he just said "fuck you," and they were in the middle of
Right.
filming this documentary, and you could just see him fall to pieces. But even before that, you could see how petty and it was just ridiculous. And I was watching it thinking, is this like a Spinal Tap? Is this like a sort of improvised
Right,
sort of
yeah.
comedy documentary? And it is that bad. And even watching it now, I'm like, I just laugh. It's like put it on.
Yeah.
Me and my wife are just like going, this is greatness. Oh, what's Lars? Oh yeah. What he needs to do. He needs to get what's the guy who used to be in Metallica who's now in Megadeth, Dave Mustaine. They kind of had they had a big falling out. So you get this life coach in, and this life coach is a complete tit, basically, and he's just getting all this money from the band, and he's just coming out with all this bullshit. And he goes to Lars, you know what you need to do? You need to get Dave Mustaine back, and you need to have a one-to-one with him.
Oh, wow.
And really get all this anger out, and you'll be better. And it's just the most awkward scene ever.
Wow.
With the life coach, Lars, and Dave Mustaine, and it's just horrible. It's like, what is going on? And then again, this is no joke. It gets to a point, right, where Metallica are so pathetic and can't make decisions that they realise the life coach, who he's on a ridiculous wage now. Metallica are paying him a shitload of money, but they want to get rid of him. But the life coach is like, yeah, I'm going to buy a house just quite close so we can carry this on, And they're like,
wow.
and they're literally talking to each other, going, oh shit, we need to get rid of him, but we can't get rid of him. He's buying a house, and they just can't they can't sack it. You know what I mean? It's just horrible. They're just it's well worth watching. If you're feeling down, watch it. It'll give you a right laugh. Really will.
I remember Metallica getting all up in arms about Napster.
Oh yeah, Lars go. Oh
Yeah.
Like what you're saying this for your mansion, all your money, because it really is harming you. Yeah,
like a year ago, Gene Simmons of Kiss, this comes back, had a moment so similar to that when he declared rock and roll was officially dead. and it was a moment just like that, where he's
Oh,
like,
my
he
God.
basically said, if you're in a band right now, give up and have a day job. There will be no more rock and roll. It was the funniest thing I've
You really
ever.
said that?
Yeah, he basically declared rock and roll dead because digital distribution had ruined music.
What? But artists are getting money from that, so
Right.
it's just a
Yeah.
different form of getting music out there.
I
Jesus
hate
Christ.
change. Change is
Yeah.
bad.
Spotify. Yeah, Taylor
So,
Swift. I'm not going to go on Spotify. I don't want to make millions on that. Yeah, fuck you. Yeah,
Mhm.
sorry. Yeah.
Most hilarious time seeing a band completely that collapse on itself. Go, guys! Like,
Oh,
and similar to the Metallica thing.
mine was Metallica. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I kind of like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
kind of blinded by Metallica now. I'm thinking, what?
I'm gonna say what tops that is the Osbournes.
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
yeah.
That
Yeah.
ruins all perceptions you have when you.
Darren!
I've got to find my slip. I've got to find my slippers. Right, it's fucking. It's right cold.
I am a big Black Sabbath fan.
I
And
fucking love Black Sabbath with a passion, but there's nothing
Yeah.
least Black Sabbath than where's my dog?
I'm sure. Yeah. No, you know what? I'm sure we went to see him play live in Birmingham from where they were from, probably before the Osbournes started. And they must have reformed and did a tour, and it was an awesome gig. But I'm actually watching. I'm going, what the fucking hell is wrong with Ozzy? Is he reading from some prompter and stuff like that? He just seriously.
I know.
It was one of them. It's like, oh
Exactly.
shit. I love the band, and I do love Ozzy Osbourne. I love a lot of his music, and I'm thinking, oh, this is a bit sad. And then the Osbournes come on MTV, and it's like, oh, this is embarrassing. I mean, this is a terrible thing to say, being sort of British and all that, but one of the accents
Sort of.
one of the accents I don't like in this country is the Birmingham accent, the Ozzy Osbourne accent. Every time I hear it, I just cringe. So I started watching that show, and I'm like, oh, Jesus.
Is that an accent? I thought that was just having a stroke. I thought that's what that was.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, to be fair, Ozzy has took a lot of drugs. Yeah, I mean, that guy's amazing. It's amazing he's still alive.
I remember two things about the Osbournes show, and they both involve the daughter, Kelly.
Kelly,
right?
yeah.
And because the one was like, she got in a fight because her mom made her a gynecologist appointment, and she's like, what right do you have? It's my vagina! It's my vagina, Mom! It's my vagina! Like, I don't know. Like, she had no right to do that. I don't know. That sticks out in my mind.
That's
and then
horrendous.
the other thing that sticks out is she brought home Elijah Wood to introduce.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
What was that?
That was so random. It was like,
yeah.
Who's that guy?
It was out of nowhere. She's like, oh, Mom and Dad, this is Elijah. And
yeah. He's like, hi, how's it going?
Elijah Wood, just
I
like,
know.
oh, hi,
that
nice
was
to
so
meet you.
random. That was hilarious.
Yeah.
Just probably, I think that the Osbournes were still on. My friend of mine was in LA, and he actually did meet Kelly, and
oh, really?
He bumped into her in some club somewhere, and apparently she was just a bitch to him, and he got the chance to just tell her to fuck off to her face.
Nice.
Which was quite funny. I was like, get in. That was great.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing. The worst thing about that series were the kids. I was like, fucking hell, what spoiled brats. It was.
The whole thing just it was a stinky television show.
Oh, and don't forget. I don't know how many seasons there were, but in one of the later seasons, Sharon's got cancer, but she's going to battle on, and it's kind of like, I don't know if I want to see any of this. She's in bed, and Ozzy's not taking it too well. You know what I mean? It was horrible. It was.
The parts that killed me though were stuff where it was like Ozzy has to get his slippers on, and I'm like, I don't want to. He's got to find the fucking slippers. The This dog took a shit in my fucking slippers, right?
Oh my god! All the dogs.
Oh, the
He had
dogs.
so many fucking
Oh my
dogs.
fucking hell! It was awful, wasn't it? There was shit everywhere in that show.
I know.
The thing is, Ozzy, rock star and a bumbling old fool, isn't he? You know what I mean? It's kind of like, what the hell? Fucking hell. I remember I actually went to see their house, when I was in LA a few years ago.
Oh, yeah.
And, you get the tour, and it's like, and here's Ozzy Osbourne's house. And, on TV, it looks fucking massive, the driveway. I'm like, really? Is that it? It was a big house, don't get me wrong. Driveway's really small. You can fit just about a car on it and stuff like that. I'm like, holy crap. Didn't look quite what it looked like on the telly. A telly? Telly. There we go, yeah. I tried to, I tried to stop myself saying telly then.
Yeah.
It just slipped out, as it were.
I had to sell off most of the driveway. I had to sell it off. Make records for my son. Right, fucking this dogs, right? Fucking dogs. Netflix had a short-lived series where they had artists talking about creating the albums. It's funny you bring up Black Sabbath, and they had Black Sabbath talking about creating the first two albums, Black Sabbath and Paranoid.
Oh yeah.
Oh wow.
And as funny as Ozzy Osbourne is, with just like fucking come in, let's do the song and fucking. My favorite person in the world is Geezer Butler because he is he's such a casual guy.
He's dead down to earth, isn't he?
Yeah, well, he's just sitting there, he's just like, right, so I was walking home from practice, right, I had a song in my head like, bum, 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 bum. I'm like, dude, that sounds like an Iron Bloke. So we called the song Iron Bloke. And I'm like, really? One of the most iconic songs in the history of metal was you walking home from the bus and going, this sounds like a fucking Iron Bloke, right?
Walking through Birmingham, in a rough part of Birmingham, real shitty part of town as well. But Black Sabbath were the band who sort of coined the phrase heavy metal. Because
there will always be that constant bickering between Sabbath and Judas Priest.
That's right. Allegedly, it was the Black Sabbath's first album, and one of the reviews basically said it sounds like fucking heavy metal, just like clanging, banging kind of thing. And I think it just that's what they reckon anyway. But Geezer Butler, he's class. Geezer Butler, it's kind of like and then we a load of skinheads legged after us and beat us up. It's loads of stories like that, isn't it? From whenever it was.
He's like the most casual guy ever. It's just like, we needed another song on the album, so we just I played a riff and it became Paranoid. And it's like one of the most epic songs ever, and you're just like, you just played it, like you just made it. That's the whole story. Like he sounds like somebody's uncle you would meet in a bar.
It's true,
Like he has, it's almost as if he has no idea the amount that he created for music. Lou Reed had one of those specials too, and Lou Reed said one of the most powerful things. The whole special was about Lou Reed's Transformer, and it was just all these music snobs and these famous musicians just like, this album is the most amazing thing. It was so influential, and Lou Reed out of nowhere, he just pans over to Lou Reed and he's just like, making a popular album is very ephemeral, You just kind of make it and then it exists, and that's all he has to say about it. Like it's like Jesus,
that's the way it is.
You are. He's the opposite of Geezer Butler. Where Geezer Butler's just like, it's just taking a shit, right? And it's just fucking like, this song came to me, right? And then you have Lou Reed, who's always perpetually just mystique and just sexy, kind of like.
That's true. Geezer Butler just says how it is, and it's kind of like, that's kind of taking the magic away from it a little bit. Really, I got off the bus. There was a skinhead there. He punched me in the face, and I thought, that was an interesting sound. It is something like that. You're like, oh, right, okay, great, okay, that's fair enough. But no, class. So Osbourne's then. Fucking hell, I forgot about that. I blanked that out my brain.
That is actually above the embarrassments of Kiss and the embarrassments of Metallica. Osbourne's takes the cake for me because.
It's so awkward watching that. There was one episode where Kelly, she goes and records the song, and she comes home with a CD, and Ozzy puts it on, and he's so proud, and I don't even know. I think he cries. It's like, it's fucking amazing and all that. But you actually see it. I'm sure there's a clip or someone put a clip out on YouTube afterwards of her in the studio recording that, and it was before they applied like auto tune and stuff, and she was fucking awful.
Well,
It was so bad.
It's a shit pop album that she put out. It wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't Sabbath. It
No,
was like,
no. Yeah.
Was it like?
Yeah.
But you
she,
get to hear her singing without autotune, and it's like, holy shit, you managed not to hit any note whatsoever.
Yeah, no, she's terrible.
That was the worst thing. And the
She
fucking
did
engineer in the studio must be like that, oh shit, I'm going to have to put overtime in tonight, obviously. I'm going to have to work through the night to get this fucking turd polished. And it's pretty shit. Sorry, go on, Ace. So.
She did a cover of an Ozzy song, though. And she did it with him, and I'm trying to remember which one that was. Because I remember...
I think it was Changes.
I think that's it?
Oh, it was.
Sabbath
song. Was it that one? Or was that?
That's a David Bowie song.
No,
there's another one.
Not that Changes.
Oh, is it like time to change? Blah, blah, blah,
no. Yeah, I think it is that one. Yeah, I know that it is a Sabbath song. I know the one you mean.
Yeah.
It's not,
that's an Ozzy song. It's Mama, I'm Coming Home. That's the one. It was
that was in my head.
No. That's not what she covered though.
You know what?
I'm trying to look it up.
Are you looking at what I was going to say? If only there was some type of like system in place where we could enter a question.
Kelly Osbourne. Well, I'm sure you guys are the only people in all of the internet who are looking that up right now. I'm sure you guys are the only people who are looking that up since 1997.
Yeah, it's Changes. It is Changes. Yeah. There's a video. Jesus Christ, I want to punch.
Yeah. Oh, they're both on like Top of the Pops singing it together. There's a YouTube clip of them. What?
Ozzy did some weird shit in that era, though. He also did that one song that really turned me off hardcore. Because it came out right at the time when I was at my biggest enthusiasm for music. I was discovering, for me, it was the discovery of Marilyn Manson, Nine Inch Nails. I was really getting heavy. Ozzy releases a new album, and it's that fucking, I'm not the kind of person you think I am. I'm not the Antichrist. It's like, what the fuck is this? You sound like, and he's like shaking in the video, and he looks like a...
What was that?
I'm trying to remember it had to have been the early 2000s, and it was like this really miserable song, and it was like really it kind of annihilated my love of him. I was like, this is so weak.
I don't know which one. I'm just having a look at his albums. Let's see what there is. When was it? Early 2000s.
Had to be early 2000s. It was a minor hit. They played it on the radio a lot, so you'd have like Power Man 5000, Rob Zombie, and then suddenly you'd have Ozzy Osbourne. I'm not the kind of person
Ozzy,
you think I am.
Not Down to Earth, is it?
I don't know. I haven't heard this shit since I was like coming out of middle school.
I don't know which one it is actually.
And it was abominable. It was this horrible like semi-power ballad.
Dreamer. Not Dreamer.
No, Dreamer was earlier. That was.
All right. What's that? All right, I'm not sure. I don't know which one that one is. Yeah, To be fair, the guy's done a lot of drugs. He doesn't really know what he's doing anymore, does he?
That's true.
He's fucked. Some of the stories are great, though.
Yeah. Like the snorting up the ants with Motley Crue.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, it's not Motley Crue. You mean Motley Crue.
Motley Crue.
Motley Crue.
Yeah, that's how you say it. That's how you say it, apparently. That's what Penn's taught us anyway, so let's get it right.
Well,
I'm going to be... Sorry, I was going to say, I'm going to be an arse. If anyone ever says Motley Crue, I will stop them and say that. No matter
Motley
what.
Crue. Yeah. Well, it's okay. Motley Crue just had their farewell show, so they're gone.
Well, until the next one. I think that's the second one they've had, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure they toured. Yeah, I'm sure they toured twice in this country, 2 different years, and it was like farewell. It's like, I probably won't be doing it again, but they'll be back. They'll need money.
1996 to 2000 was the Kiss farewell tour.
Well, yeah, there we go. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And they've only made 2 albums since then. So, kind of going back to Kiss, one of the interesting things is their guitar player, Ace Frehley, is cutting a new album, and he's got John 5 on it. I don't know if either of you are aware of who John 5 is, but he is an amazing... Okay, so he's played... Okay, he first played on Marilyn Manson's Mechanical Animals.
Oh,
Went
yeah.
on to tour with Rob Zombie for a long time. Has
Holy
played
shit.
with Meatloaf. Has played with Leonard Skinner. Was on Paul Stanley's album. He's played with Ozzy. He's played with literally
crap.
almost everybody in the business. Has had John Five playing for them. He is
Jeez.
the pinnacle of like the teenager who was playing air guitar in the '80s. He's
Oh,
that
yeah.
guy who went on to play with all those bands he was playing air guitar for.
Wow.
Like
Yeah.
and if you look up and just look him up on Wikipedia, if you just look up John Five and look up the career that he's been involved in, it's just it is a astonishing number of bands that he's played with, and he's
Okay,
produced
cool.
with.
Oh shit! Yeah, you know what? I know who he is. Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
and
I
he's
just
actually,
googled him.
he's actually going to be on the Kiss guitar player Ace Frehley, or ex-Kiss guitar player Ace Frehley's album. So I'm looking forward to that because I recently
Holy
listened
crap.
to Ace Frehley's 2 solo albums and they were great.
Wow, that's amazing. You know, you kind of had me there until you got to Meatloaf, and I was like, nah, yeah.
He was on Bat Out of Hell Part 3. He played like all the metal stuff.
Is that not a joke? There is. I just laughed.
There's a Bat Out of Hell Part 3. Yeah,
Part 3.
yeah, it's
Christ.
yeah. It's not as
Yeah,
corny
so-
as the second one. The second one was all corny. The first one was theatrical as fuck. I love the
Yeah,
first Bat Out of Hell.
Yeah.
I love
One-
that thing
yeah.
to death. The second
Yeah.
one is like the corniest thing. You know, you start with "I would do anything for love."
Oh, was that on that album? Oh,
Yeah, it's on
Jesus.
that album. Then you go into the song. You go into that great song, "Objects in the rear view mirror may
Oh
appear
my
closer than they are."
Hold on, just go back to that first song. What is he actually talking about? I'll do anything for love. But I won't do that.
She actually answers it at the ending because there's a responding singer, and she's just
Oh.
like, "Would you fuck my friends?" And he's like, "No."
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that's it. That's what I can't remember. She gets very specific. She's like, "Would you not wake up in the morning and make me the eggs the way I like it?" Well, I won't do that.
I thought it was anal, but I wasn't too sure really.
Well,
But
it
no,
could have
okay.
been anal, but
Yeah,
she doesn't.
yeah.
You know, this bitch here, this hoe, she's way too specific. She didn't X anal off the plate, but she got like
I won't
weirdly
make eggs
like.
in the morning.
Well, she didn't nix it off the plate, but he said that he could do it to a photo. Right.
You can
Snapchat.
look at my asshole as long as you want.
You can look at what was the Kevin Smith thing? Was looking at her actual asshole?
Yeah.
Or was
She
it a photo?
He was in the bathroom getting ready, and he wanted to fuck, and she didn't want to fuck because she was getting ready. So she
Okay.
dropped her towel for him, and he got on his knees, spread her butt cheeks, and jerked
Okay.
Oh
off.
my god.
Yeah,
For
on
some
the back
reason,
of her knee.
I thought it was to a photo of it. Like she was like, okay, hold on,
A
click.
photo would be funny. A photo would be
What
funny.
do
That's
you
funny.
do? What do you do with a
another
picture
business-
of your significant other's sphincter? Do you delete
would
that
you do?
after you jerk off? Yeah.
What
I
don't you do?
I don't have pictures of my significant other's sphincter.
Well,
So,
you know why? You know why
What's the
you
one?
don't? Because you need to be on Snapchat.
I guess
I know we
do
need to get on Snapchat. We can get loads of these photos.
Well, I
Snapchat
guess.
is for
I don't
nudes.
know.
I'm telling you.
Well, yeah, but I get nudes, but like when you get an ultra specific nude, like, and after you jerk off to that hot picture of an anus, do you just delete it, like, in shame?
But how do you know that is their arse? If they're like, yeah, I'll send you I'll send you a photo. And if you're like, is that yours? Because I'm guessing. It might not be. You could just get anyone's, couldn't
Pick it
you?
out of a lineup.
Quick Google, yeah.
I
I don't know. I'm not. Yeah, sorry. Go on.
I have to confess, though, all those selfies of my anus I sent, those are just pictures of glazed donuts.
Really? Oh, I did keep them as well, but they've come in very handy.
I won't do
Hey, I mean,
that.
If it does it for you, you get
Yeah.
the right donut.
Yeah, but
I've been
like,
wanking off over
I guess I'm just.
Yeah,
I guess
There's another British word, wank. Another British
yeah,
word, wank.
yeah,
Wank.
but I accept
Wank.
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 Yeah.
Wank. I'm
Yeah.
off for a wank.
That's but that's almost onomatopoeia right there, right?
Yeah.
Like
well-
Wank. That's the noise it's going to make. Sometimes it does.
depending on size.
Wow.
Quick wank. Quick wank.
Quick.
Quick way.
Quick. Yeah. You're right, actually. Yeah. So there we go. So yeah, I'm just going to delete all those photos now. Ace.
Yeah. Well, I'm legitimately.
That's just gonna make me hungry.
Because I can completely.
Yeah, is it weird that I want a donut now?
Yeah, it's not gonna make me hard. It's gonna now make me hungry. No.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
my.
A little bit hard as well. No donuts.
So the only good thing,
yeah.
the only good thing that came out of because I've had a Kiss obsession this last month, and I think it was from reading the books, and I went ahead. Okay, I've had a Kiss obsession for a while, but it's it's been kind of. I literally tried to make a pun out of the name, but I couldn't. It's been kind of undying, where like I have just been eating up interviews and shit out of fascination, but it's not love, because I ridicule the fuck out of it. Every interview is just because I've watched. I now have impressions of each individual member of the band. You have Paul Stanley with his like, "That's not rock and roll," because it's funny. He talks with like a lot of sass. He commands a lot of like. A lot of people want us to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but I don't know if Kiss could really be there. Kiss should have their own Hall of Fame.
Oh,
and then you have Gene
Not the Rock and Roll,
Simmons.
but Kiss Hall of Fame.
The Kiss Hall of Fame. Kiss wins every year.
Yeah.
Somehow.
Oh, I wonder what's going to be in there this year. Oh, it's Kiss. Okay, there. Yeah. Oh.
And then you have Gene Simmons, who literally, his voice is so not his character anymore. Back in the 70s, I will give him credit. He did have a very commanding and serious. But now he seriously, when he talks, it turns into, coming from doing music, it's a very, elegant. How do you put it? Like brisket, some music. And like, what the fuck? Like, why did you? How did you become an old Jewish man? Like,
Is it old Jewish mobster?
We made Kiss condoms. That's why if you've ever had sex with a condom, you should thank Kiss, because we actually made condoms. Back in the 19th. What's your favorite band there, Mr. Tony Longworth? What's your favorite band?
Kiss.
That's it. See, I love this guy. I love this guy.
I felt like I was being threatened then. Actually, I couldn't say anything else. Got cornered.
That's
scared.
That's how you know how to use your money. And then my personal favorite is Peter Criss, their drummer, the Catman.
Oh
their old drummer, because he now he takes the inflections of because man, I know this from reading the books. He's a cat because he had a run-in with death when he was young and thinks he has 9 lives. So that's why he has the cat inflection. It's symbolic for the fact that he outran death. But now he literally but he now looks like an aging blues musician, and I love it. I love listening to him. God bless you. God bless you. I had it all. Oh, God bless. And it's just like the best thing ever to hear him in an interview. Like, what do you think about how Kiss is going along without you? There's a guy up there with your makeup playing your songs. I threw it all away. God bless. God bless. It was a hard time. I shouldn't have thrown it away. It was God bless you. I fucking love it. And last but not least is Ace Frehley, who had abused alcohol so much that he's kind of the American Ozzy Osbourne. Oh, brilliant. But he has a bit of a kind of a high-pitched voice, kind of like Plinkett. But what's the word for it? He's kind of like those guys. They come, I could be a good Kiss too, but I just I don't want to wear the makeup anymore.
This is George Lucas.
Well, no. This is Ace Frehley. This is.
All right, sure. You sure you're not the same person?
When you think about it. Have you ever seen Ace Frehley and George Lucas in the same room?
Oh no. George Lucas actually, you ask Gene. If you ask Gene, George Lucas came up with the idea from Star Wars because of Gene. That's right, Ace. That's right. It was 1963. Kiss had basically we were making Volcanoes at the time, and. Young filmmaker comes to me and he goes to me, Gene Simmons, and I go, please call me the Demon. And he's Gene Simmons. I I need an idea. I need an idea for a film, and I said, listen to Kiss's Love Gun. It hadn't come out yet, but I told him to listen to it, and the concept of Love Gun is where George Lucas got the idea for blasters. It's if I'm a very gregarious man, letting him take that without charging him, but just Kiss in Star Wars, it's synonymous. It's
Kiss save Star Wars.
The word. Have you ever seen a little film called Kiss Meets the Phantom of the Park? It pretty much inspired the art of film. You ever hear of a young director called Quentin Tarantino? Wouldn't exist if it wasn't for Kiss Dynasty. On sale right now. KissOnline.com. KissOnline.com. Yeah, so that's basically where Star Wars comes from. And let me tell you something. Star Wars isn't very rock and roll. I want to make sure right now that we know that Kiss's place in history is not associated to Star Wars. Star Wars is not very rock and roll. God bless.
Were you just playing the audiobooks then or not? Or was that you? I couldn't quite
tell. That's great.
We actually just got an impromptu reunion of Kiss on our podcast.
That's amazing.
Yeah, there's a Kiss podcast that exists, and they do 3-hour shows every week.
No.
3-hour show.
Is it like that thing on Family Guy where he's like, "Welcome to Kiss Forum"?
Yes. And it's like they literally, there have been episodes where they literally just shit on like people who say mean stuff on Twitter.
Oh.
And just like tear apart like today we talk about your favorite era Kiss coloration usage on an album during the 80s period, but not including Japanese imports. You go now. And it's like, wow. You guys, and they're like 300 episodes deep, and I've listened to 40 of them.
3-hour piece.
Yeah, they're about I believe at this point 90% of YouTube is just Kiss podcasts.
No.
And they get these brilliant guests. They get guys like back in the 70s I was the guy who did the hair. Yes, good stories. They came in the back. They considered me the fifth member of Kiss. I did the hair thing. I did that's why they call me Harry McGee. That's my name. I'm the hair guy. What's your favorite album, Harry McGee? The one that I was on, that had the hair.
Greatest hits. That's the one. Yeah.
Like stretch that for 3 hours, and that's your show. But yeah, there's a Kiss podcast, so I've been listening to that too, like while juggling around.
So what I'm hearing is that we are not the #1 Kiss podcast.
No, we gotta earn up to number. Well, no, we're actually the #1 because we have Kiss on the podcast.
Yeah, that's true.
Like they don't have Kiss. They don't have Kiss on the podcast. Like I have them sitting right here. They're on the moonbase.
Well, we've just been speaking to them. Basically.
Please, Mr. Longworth, if I can call you that, just call me the Demon. www.kissonline.com. You can actually buy the right to call me that on our website, $29.99. Basically, the moon was made. We made the moon so that way there could be a nighttime with which you can rock and roll. You can't. Before you was rock and roll all night. There was no night.
Yeah.
It was just I want to rock and roll, and then we were like we need a thing, so we made night.
Yeah.
That's how it came to be.
But where does the party come in there? I don't understand if you rock and roll and all the time. Where's the party?
We just on the second day. If you let me finish, on the second day, we created the day, so we could party. Party every day.
I've got it.
You can actually right now kissonline.com. Right now, kissonline.com. You could go on and you could have the Bible, the Kiss years, the Kissology Bible.
Wow. Is there an Old and New Testament in there, or is it
old, new 80s era? It's all there. It's all the hits, greatest hits. It's the best hit. $49.99. Wow. Tax free. kissonline.com.
Brilliant.
Turning into Rick, but.
Oh, fancy having Kiss on our podcast, first podcast of 2016. That was quite good, actually. Yeah, that was really good. You know what? Sorry, go on.
This podcast is rock and roll. This is what rock and roll was made for. It was made for podcasting.
It was. You know something? I'm just looking at the time, and if we want to do a Sonic High School, we should maybe
Let's do
now.
a Sonic High School. Get the fuck out of here, Kiss.
Sonic.
Yeah, because Darren is actually dead and buried on the moon surface. We kind of let it drift a little bit.
Couldn't bury him.
Oh, can I just say something? You know, just before we left to go back to Earth, I did see you out on the surface of the moon with the large sack.
I was trying. The whole non-gravity thing is an issue.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm a bit worried about this, really. I think you're a serial killer.
I cannot refute that.
Am I next? I'm worried.
What I can say...
We're all trapped on this moonbase with Ace. I don't know.
No, I'm scared.
Well, hold on. Can I just say this now, because it's going out live? If there's no podcast next week, Ace has probably got to us all. That's all I can say. Yeah. Help me. He's a crazy man. So, shall we get on to...
let's get on to it.
The Sonic High School. Jessica, you've got it.
I just dropped the link into the chat. Jessica, I'd like you to play the car.
The car? Okay.
Tony, you're going to be narrator. I will do Shadow, and if there's any other characters that pop up, Jessica will be other characters as well, but I don't know if there's any others. I haven't looked that far ahead.
Okay,
here we go. Sonic High School. This is. Don't get too excited.
Lucky 13.
Yeah. Here we go. Chapter 13. A cool car raced through the city streets.
Brrr.
Said the car as it went down the big street. Lots of other cars on it. The city was filled of buildings with lights and other things like places like McDonald's. I'm really looking forward to you saying this one. I guess you just say shouted the car as it went back and forth, going in. It was actually a comma, that wasn't it? Going in between other cars, so it did not have to wait in traffic. The car was playing techno and rock and roll music.
That's not rock and roll.
Yeah, that is rock and roll. I missed out a really important part there. Techno is short for technology, and then yell the car doing a big turn in the city into section. Say it as it's
location update on the Ultra Chaos Emerald.
Said the driver of the car. Oh, that's the driver. I don't know.
I thought it was
No, don't worry. That's fine.
Keep going.
The car screen blinked to different things, and then, in a robot voice, said,
"Beep beep, Ultra Chaos Emerald, getting closer."
Shadow looked at the map screen and drove faster towards the red dot that was where the last Ultra Chaos Emerald was.
Beep 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 beep,
said the car in a robot voice as Shadow got closer to the dot while driving his car. It was just around the corner now. Shadow did another fast turn at the into section and right to where the red dot on the map was.
Beep 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 beep,
screamed the car in a robot voice as his robot dot and the Ultra Chaos Emerald dot on the map moved into each other, and in the real world Shadow pulled up to the curb and there was a couple of gang men.
"Thanks, Omega,"
said Shadow as he hopped out of the car, which was black and red, and onto the dark city street. He looked at the blacks. Oh my god.
Oh no!
Yeah, I know. I completely stumbled on that. We've got to say it. We've got to say it. I did. As I said that, I was like, did I? Yeah, I did read that right. Here we go. We've got to read it. We've got to read it. Oh shit! Don't laugh. He looked at the blacks standing there, and they looked dangerous. But Shadow knew they had the Ultra Chaos Emerald. Shadow took out a gun and pointed it at them and said, Oh, no. It's right. Dead children. Dead children. More dead children.
Give me the last Ultra Chaos Emerald.
And they looked surprised and startled. They checked their pockets, and while they were doing that, the gun became used, and Shadow shot all three of them. They were now dead. Shadow reached into the middle one's pocket and found what he had come for, the Ultra Chaos Emerald. They were like regular Chaos Emeralds, but more powerful and a secret until they were found out. Sorry, this is me. I was just kind of taking that in, thinking, I don't know what's going on. Shadow hopped back into his car, Amiga the robot car, and said,
I got it. Now I can get one wish to come true. I'm going to think about what I will use on before I use it.
Shadow looked at the map and said,
Get me directions to Hamburger Restaurant.
Amiga changed some screens and said in a robot voice,
Beep, bop, bop, Hamburger Restaurant, location found. It is over here.
And Shadow looked at where the dot was. It was right nearby, so Shadow drove there with more loud sounds. Shadow went to the drive-thru and got a hamburger and fries and sat in the parking lot in Amiga and ate it.
This is great. I love this place. It is always the place that I love to come to after I finish a crime,
said Shadow darkly. Amiga did not need food because he was a robot shaped into a car. Shadow finished eating and threw the garbage in Amiga's trash hole, where he turned litter into gasoline, which was useful. Then Shadow... oh, Jesus Christ. Then Shadow took his penis out.
Hey, Omega, check this out,
said Shadow, laughing as he took his big, neat penis and stuck it in Omega's trash hole.
Unrecognized item in trash hole. Error,
said Omega.
That's my penis, man,
said Shadow to Omega.
Penis not trash, not allowed in trash hole,
said Amiga to Shadow. Shadow couldn't fit all of his big, strong penis into Amiga's trash hole anyway. This is a bit like Kevin Smith and his wife, isn't it? Trying to stick it in the trash hole. Yes. So he took it out and gave Amiga a taste of his balls too. Oh. Amiga did not recognize Shadow's balls as trash either, which was good. And then Shadow put his balls back and started to drive off with his hand still on his penis.
Oh my God.
Where is Silver's house? Said
Shadow to Amiga while he rubbed really quick and hard on his penis with one hand while his other hand was driving. Amiga updated his map and showed where Silver's house was on the other side of the dark city. Shadow kept empowering his penis with his one hand, and he drove faster and more dangerously. Soon his penis was so big he could hardly see in front of him anymore. Oh, we've all been there. And he was zigzagging across the city trying to keep both his penis and his car in control. Definitely all been there. Then he put both hands of his penis, both hands of his on his penis and made it do all sorts of things until it was done, and his penis redecorated the inside of Amiga with white curtains.
Oh!
Just so you know, that's my semen,
said Shadow to Amiga. Amiga knew that already. Shadow put both his hands back on the steering wheel and drove faster, but suddenly some loud sounds and flashing lights came up behind him.
Walk, 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 the police is following you,
said Amiga. Shadow decided to follow the laws and stopped his car in the street and waited for the police to come over to him. Shadow's penis was still big, though, so he tucked it under his leg on the right, and it stuck up in the middle. And it stuck up in the middle of Amiga the car, and Shadow put his hand on it. The police came over to the front window of Amiga and looked at Shadow inside.
Cool vehicle,
said the police.
Thanks,
said Shadow to the police back.
Okay, do you know what you were do you know that you were breaking a law by going fast and back and forth on the street?
Said the police to Shadow, sounding more like Miss Lesson than a real person.
Yeah, I do,
said Shadow, and he patted his hand on his penis in the middle of the front of the car.
Sir, please take your hand off the gear stick in the middle of the car right now,
said the police to Shadow. Shadow looked at the police and laughed and said,
"That's not the gear stick! That is my penis!"
and drove off before the police could say anything or really even react at all.
You have broken another law,
said Amiga to Shadow. Shadow laughed because he could see the police far behind him giving up and going to look for an easier criminal.
"Now," said
Shadow,
"let's get to Silver's house."
Shadow drove the car fast to Silver's house on the other side of the city, and when he got there, he braked the car so hard that the sound it made was like hearing the world's largest bird get punched in his tummy. Amazing. Shadow honked the horn, and when he finished honking the horn, Silver jumped out the window and onto the street and into the side seat of Omega.
Hey, Shadow, thanks for the ride,
said Silver.
Cool curtains you put up.
Oh, Jesus. Shadow laughed and said,
"No problem. Now, if I do not hurry up by driving fast, you will be late for the play."
Silver said,
"Do not worry, we will get there in time."
Silver was another big role in the play. Silver was another big role in the Silver was another big role in the play, but he was not a huge gay like Charmy B. Silver was kind of like Sonic, but less fast. Sonic also had the best morals, but maybe Silver dressed better. But that was kind of gay too. Silver did have this big hair thing on the front that looked like a marijuana.
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 Oh, marijuana.
Yeah, it is marijuana.
Marijuana.
Phonetic, yeah, okay. Though maybe Sonic was better at being stylish anyway. It is hard to tell because Silver lived in the city, which was kind of far away from high school. Shadow stepped on the gases. Shadow stepped on the gases and the car went away through the city into the moonlight and towards out of the city to high school. And there ends chapter 13. What a beautiful chapter that was.
No idea what the fuck just happened.
Wow.
I don't remember any of this setup. I don't know what the fuck is. We didn't skip a chapter. You weren't fucking with me. Like we didn't
skip a chapter. No. That was it does seem like it's kind of just gone off on one.
Yeah, that was
weird, isn't it? That's just it's like I'm going back a chapter. No. It was the Doctor. The Doctor was in the Chinese Doctor in the last chapter. No chapter skipping.
So
Holy
fucking
crap.
hard not to lose my shit at Paul doing that voice.
Oh, that was funny. I knew it was
fucking
coming on that, and it was just like, oh, this is gonna be. It was so good though.
I forgot the Doctor was Chinese. I completely forgot the Doctor was so Chinese.
I know.
And oh man.
Because you said, I think you said to Paul, you do the Doctor. Yeah, okay. And then as I'm reading,
I think that you set that up on purpose to make him do the voice.
And that would have been. I wish I could take credit for that, but I completely.
No, because I didn't know, and as
headset.
That was your headset. As I was reading, it did say somewhere just before the Doctor speaks, and the Doctor, Chinese Doctor, and I was thinking, oh, Paul's got to read this, and then he did, and I was like, oh shit, that was so funny. That was good.
It was the hardest thing not to fucking just explode the entire like.
It was difficult, that wasn't it? Really, it was difficult, but it was good. So listen, this episode's kind of gone over 10 minutes.
Yeah.
If Darren was here, he would beat us, wouldn't he? He used to do that. You remember Darren? Before he died. Yeah. Darren's dead now, isn't he? Isn't he?
Yeah.
Darren dead. So have you just admitted it?
Yeah. Well, no. He's just.
We're gonna have to get. I'm gonna have to phone the Moon Police and tell them.
Yeah.
So in the fuck, marry, kill triangle.
Oh yeah.
The three of you, he's already dead.
Oh yeah.
One of you gets to get fucked, and one of you gets to get married.
Which is kind of the same thing as getting fucked.
Yeah. Where's that drummer? He's late again.
He's gonna be late by a few weeks.
Okay. Do you want to do fuck, marry, kill ICS? Should we do that?
Oh God.
Yeah. Should we do that?
I feel like we already did.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
During
already covered that.
Did we?
Yeah.
Wasn't-
during my first appearance,
Yeah.
we unintentionally.
Oh, did we? Oh, God. I don't think
We
I was
talked
here.
about
was
our
I?
sexual desires. We could talk
Yeah.
about our murder fantasies.
I was going to say, if it was just the ICS fuck, marry, kill, I'd probably fuck Matt because he's got a bit of sort of, you don't want to marry him because he's got kids. You don't want to end up with the kids. So I'd
That's
fuck
true.
him. Because
It would only be partial custody, though.
yeah, it'd still be a pain in the ass, wouldn't it? Really, it's some kids, and I couldn't put up with that shit. I think marry Paul because his toy room. You know what I mean? That would be great fun, and definitely kill Jacob for two things. Obviously, SJ is one of them, but the other one, I want all his audio equipment, so I'd just kill Jacob. So that's my reasoning behind it. What about you, Jessica? What do you think?
I purposely abstained once when the tweet went out, and the tweet said, I'm pretty sure, fuck, marry, kill, and then it listed Jacob, Paul, Matt, and I remember thinking, so that's the order you went with, huh?
That's your answer. That's your there we go.
I like that order.
There we go. What about you, Ace? That's what Ace
I know, it's, you don't want to say, I know.
You don't have to say.
Yes, you do.
This is Moonbase Wonder Bear, sire. You're floating through the space. 'Cause I forgot to connect your air tube. That's not good. If you'd only float back here, we'd take you if we could. So here are we finishing our podcast.
This is your confession.
Far over the time. The show has lost its way and it's getting fairly gay.
I just want you to keep going. Keep going.
Well, that's the dun da dun da dun ba bum bum.
Yeah,
This is a long-winded solo.
Should we end the podcast there? That was a beautiful way to end.
That was a very weak Bowie. I usually do it better, but
No,
I couldn't
it
get
was
the string.
good. It
No,
was
that
good.
was weak. Yeah.
It was good. I liked it. I kind of liked it. Good improv. It was very good.
I should have gone for more obscure, though, and really flex my muscles.
Yeah. Should we leave that to next week?
Yeah, just obscure Bowie covers?
Yeah, you should do that whole. You just do that. I'll sit back next week.
Just an entire episode of just like, it's a god-awful small affair, 'cause Bearsire wasn't there. He left us hanging dry. Surely the show will die. Here we, sitting here for far too long, no sleep, singing a Bowie song. We're way over time.
Ace, do you want me just to hit stop broadcast? Is that what we're going with this? I'm just not doing it. Listen, should we all say goodbye? I'm Tony Longworth, UK Music Bitch. That was Ace, Bunny Boy, Muns, and our special guest, Scoop, Jessica, a.k.a. Sarah. So we'll see you all again very soon. That was fun.
Very soon.
Bye.